Pig might seem like just a simple and fun kids' cartoon, full of good lessons, but the reality is that it hides many surprising secrets. But have you noticed all the little details and mysteries scattered throughout the series? For example, throughout the more than 300 episodes, practically only mammals are depicted as beings who behave like humans. Strange, isn't it? But there is one exception that occurs in a very specific episode. In the episode where Madame Gazelle takes the students to visit the zoo, we finally see an animal from a different category appearing and acting like animals would normally behave in our world, a reptile. This character is one of the zoo's staff members, none other than Mrs. Crocodile. Despite being a predatory species, she is responsible for the penguins, and so far is the only reptile to appear in the series. The big question is she the only one of her kind in Peppa's world? Or are there other crocodiles living normally in the world of the pink pig? These are some of the mysteries that make Peppa's universe so intriguing, and there are surely many more waiting to be discovered. And get ready, because it doesn't stop here. Come with us to discover a little more about the incredible world of Peppa Pig. A small, hard-to-notice detail that we also find in the show but is quite interesting appears in the episode Daddy Pig's Birthday. The scene starts quite simply, with Daddy Pig's co-workers preparing a surprise for him while he's still at work. But if you pay attention, there's something curious happening with the character during this moment. As soon as he realizes the surprise, he becomes so embarrassed that his face begins to change color. But here's the funny part. Daddy Pig is already pink, so he just turns a little darker. This is one of those little details that only those who watch repeatedly will notice. I confess I only noticed it after watching the episode several times. It's a small subtlety, but definitely something that catches your attention once you realize it. Now, another secret that leaves many fans confused and is related to the first secret we mentioned in this video is about the coexistence between prey and predators. In the same zoo episode, Madame Gazelle is terrified when she encounters Mr. Lion and Mrs. Crocodile, two dangerous predators that love to eat gazelles in the real world. You can see that she knows her place in the food chain, as gazelles are natural prey for many different species, including lions and crocodiles. So here's the question. How do these animals coexist peacefully? And more importantly, what do they eat in Peppa Pig's universe? Let's hope it's not gazelles or pigs. The truth is, in a real world, this would be practically impossible, but Peppa Pig's show defies this logic. This predator mystery doesn't only apply to zoo animals. In Peppa's town, we also have the presence of the wolf family, a group that clearly raises suspicion among the other characters. And it's no wonder. Whenever Daddy Wolf is near Daddy Pig, he seems ready to take a bite out of his friend. He constantly says he's hungry and gives Daddy Pig some very suspicious looks, especially when they're alone. A clear example of this is in the episode The Boat, where Daddy Pig decides to take Daddy Wolf for a canoe ride, replacing Grandpa Rabbit at the oars. Daddy Pig's look of relief when they reach the other side of the river is priceless. If the crossing had taken just a bit longer, who knows, the pig family might have had to deal with Daddy Pig's absence, because he'd be in Daddy Wolf's belly. Another curious detail happens in the episode Painting, where we see the pig family having fun with paints and canvases. But if you pay close attention, you'll notice something strange happening with the paints they use. For example, when Peppa dips her finger in the red paint, she manages to make 3 apples in her drawing before her finger runs out of paint. But when George does the same, he manages to make 9 apples. How is that possible? He's much smaller than Peppa, so he should use less paint, right? This is one of those little secrets that we don't notice at first, but leaves us wondering, what's George's trick? Is he hiding something? Now tell me, isn't it fun discovering these mysteries in Peppa Pig's show? If you think so, comment below with the word secret. Now, speaking of birthday cakes, another curious detail appears in the episode where Daddy Pig organizes a birthday party for his wife, Mummy Pig. He makes a cake with only 3 candles, which raises some eyebrows for those who know that the number of candles reveals the age of the birthday person. During the episode, he even comments that there should be more candles. But clearly, he doesn't have enough for Mummy Pig's actual age. To make the situation even funnier, when he whispers Mummy Pig's age in Peppa's ear, her reaction is priceless. Despite this, he presents the cake with the 3 candles anyway, and surely earns some points with his wife for trying. Still, we know Mummy Pig is much older than 3 years, even in pig years, but the exact number remains a mystery to this day. Now, another fun mystery in Peppa Pig may be related to Daddy Pig's age, and the answer might be hidden in the episodes themselves. In the episode Daddy Pig's Birthday, we see Mummy Pig and the kids preparing a birthday cake for him. Instead of a single candle, They put 13 candles on the cake. This could give us a clue about Daddy Pig's age. If he were really 13, considering that pigs live up to about 20 years, this could make sense in the show's universe. But here's the question. If Daddy Pig is 13 in pig years, how old would Peppa and George be? If Peppa is 4 in pig years, that would mean she's about 1 in human years. Not sure if that's how it works, but it's definitely one of those details that makes you think for a while. In the episode where Peppa and her family visit Madame Gazelle's house, we notice an interesting detail. The enormous pine tree she planted many years ago has grown so tall that it reaches the same height as her house. And her house has 4 floors. From this, we can calculate that the tree is about 12 meters tall. That would be like stacking 12 Peppas, one on top of the other, to reach the top of the tree. Now, if we consider how long pine trees take to grow, we can estimate that Madame Gazelle planted this tree at least 40 years ago. Impressive, right? Another interesting fact is that when she planted the tree, she was already a widow, as shown by a picture in her house. So, how old could Madame Gazelle really be? The mystery remains. Besides the time it took for the tree to grow, another curious detail appears when the pig family enters Madame Gazelle's house. The house is visibly crooked, and both Peppa and George end up sliding toward the middle of the room. The strange thing is that, even though they are sliding, all the furniture stays perfectly in place. Without moving, how is that possible? If the floor is tilted, shouldn't the furniture slide too? It seems like the laws of physics don't apply inside Madame Gazelle's house. Another thing that leaves us scratching our heads is the number of floors in Madame Gazelle's house. When Mr. Bull climbs the tree outside, he stops at each floor to take a peek through the windows. He finds a family of birds on the 2nd floor, a beehive on the 3rd, an owl on the 4th, and on the 5th floor, Madame Gazelle's beloved bats. But wait a minute, how can there be a 5th floor? Didn't they say the house only has 4 floors? How did they open 5 windows? It seems like the floor count is a real mystery in this episode. If you also enjoy these surprises and mysteries, make sure to subscribe to the channel now. That way, you can watch the best Peppa Pig videos whenever you want. Speaking of mix-ups, a funny detail appears in the episode Treasure Hunt, when Granny Pig hand-draws a map to help Peppa and her friends find the hidden treasure. It turns out that Daddy Pig, an engineer who works with blueprints and construction projects, has trouble understanding his mother-in-law's simple map and even looks at it upside down. Now, you might argue that Daddy Pig isn't a pirate, but the map has a drawing of a house, and houses are something he sees every day at work, right? So the question remains, is Daddy Pig's degree real, or is he just having a memory lapse? What makes this situation even more intriguing is that it seems this memory lapse is hereditary. That's because Peppa, just like her dad, also has the tendency to look at maps upside down. Even at 4 years old, you'd think she should already know that roofs go on top of houses, right? I mean, even I knew that when I was 4. Now, the most curious detail in the Treasure Hunt episode isn't the fact that Peppa looks at the map upside down. The truly strange part happens when Granny Pig hands the map correctly to Peppa. However, as soon as she turns to show it to Grandpa Pig, the map mysteriously flips upside down again. How did that happen? Did the map turn on its own? Rewatch the scene and see for yourself. Another very interesting secret that was only recently revealed has to do with Peppa's parents' real names. Throughout the series, we've only ever known them as Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig, but surely they have proper names, right? And finally, in a special episode, we discover Daddy Pig's name. In Valentine's Day, Daddy Pig prepares a special card for his wife, and when she reads it, we see that he signs it with the name Snufflekins.
Snufflekins. Oh.
That's right. Now we know that his full name is probably Snufflekins Pig. This was one of the best-kept secrets of Peppa Pig, and it certainly surprised a lot of people. And while we wait for new seasons and more Peppa Pig episodes, you can keep discovering more secrets and curious details here on our channel. If you love Peppa and her mysteries, don't forget to check out the videos we've prepared for you. Pick your favorite, and we'll see you in the next one. Click on your favorite video and join us. See you soon!